national champion, Don Courtney, racing out of Hialeah, Florida. As the field heads up through the S's on the pace lap, way back in 24th position is the defending national champion in Formula V, Wayne Moore. Wayne, what are you doing so far back in the field? What's your game plan?
Well, I'm going to line them up on the back straightaway and the front straightaway and pick them off about 3 a lap, and that'll take me about 8 laps to catch the leaders, and then they better look out.
In the lead draft, and any one of them has a strong shot to win the national Formula V driving title. Just moments from now, 16 laps complete. Coming around and complete, the 17th is your leader, Don Pepperdine. The blue, trimmed in red and white machine. There is Wayne Moore from Atlanta. He is in the 4th position on his home racetrack where he won the national title a year ago. Noble works to the outside and he takes the lead. There goes Moore to the outside. The shuffling begins in earnest now with just a little over a lap to go.
And 5th, right behind Moore, is Moore actually taking it. Oh, and they nudged wheels there as they went to that dip. I'm sure that the right rear of Wayne Moore just nudged over the front.
They've got Moore the lead. 1 lap to go. As they come to the start-finish line, it is Wayne Moore, the defending champion, leading Bill Noble. The 13 of Don Pepperdine, the 5 of John Hogdell, heading for turn 1.
Well, now, of course, this is the big bone of contention. Is it best to lead on the last lap, or is it best to ride back? It's one of those things that Muddy Baker has problems thinking out, and of course, a lot of these drivers have the same. You just can't rely on anything. The thing to do is just go for the checker here. If you're lying in 2nd place, it's sometimes better. But
off course, that's Moore. Off course, cutting his way across the S's, coming back up onto the speedway, and Noble has the lead. It is Noble and Pepperdine, Hogdell, and you can see that Moore lost a bit of time getting back up to speed. He is back to the 4th position. A costly off-course excursion for Wayne Moore as they come up through the S's.
Well, that's probably cost him the race. He's dropped back. I don't think he can make it up that far down.
Remember, he has a lot of power. That 5,000-foot back straight is coming up.
But he did have a nasty cross-country excursion there. He may have deranged his suspension somewhat.
Coming onto the backstretch, it is Noble, Pepperdine, Hogdell, and Moore. The 5th place car appears to be car number 81, riding from the 5th spot. That is Ron Feeney. No, that would not be Feeney. We'll double-check that for you.
I think it's 61. I think it's Don Courtney.
That would be Courtney, the former national champion. Yeah. In 5 of the last 6 years, the driver who has led under the bridge has not won this race. Hogdell on the left in yellow. Wayne Moore on the right reassumes the lead. Pepperdine is 3rd. There is Noble moving up into the 3rd spot. Courtney is 5th. Look at the battle here as they come around and head for the bridge. And heading for home, it is Wayne Moore stretching it out to a 6th car length advantage. Noble is 2nd. Hogdell 3rd. Don Courtney will finish in the 4th spot.
Well, I must say, it makes you wonder about the... Hi, Wayne, how are you? Just look at the camera there.
Okay.
Okay, Wayne, you told us before the race started you were going to win it. Did you really think you could do it from 24th spot?
Well, I knew I could do it. It's a little tougher than I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd catch him a little bit sooner, but I guess I just didn't get it on until about the last 9 laps.
Well, you caught... Well, it was a tremendous finish, Wayne, a tremendous race coming from 24th spot. Now, are you going to promise me you're not going to fly those jets like you drive those cars?
I certainly hope not. I won't be doing it very long if I do.
Thanks very much, Wayne. 2-time national champion here at Road Atlanta in Formula Super V. The first man to do that for over 10 years. Congratulations.
Formula V.
What the?
Super V.
You're right.
You know there's great racing ahead when a grid of 23 Formula V racers are separated by only a single second after qualifying. George Fazell in the number 33 Caracal D got the jump on the start and led an extremely tight field through the first turn. Fazell goes out in front by a wide margin, but there are 13 other cars trying for the 2nd spot. Floridian George Fazell wins the national title by a comfortable margin. A battle for second is won by 17th starter Bill Noble, while Buzz Collins hangs on for third. These guys are not only great racers, but pretty good PR people for the Formula V class.
It's real close competition. Everybody's got about the same horsepower, and they're all good drivers. It really is a neat class.
Formula V, riding a wave of renewed popularity, promised to be a very tight race as usual. The first 14 of the 45 cars qualified within the same second. Mark Edwards of Los Angeles, California, in the number 74 Glamdring, captured the pole and is joined on the first row by Stephen Ira, number 88, of Jacksonville, Florida, in a car of his own creation. The largest field of the weekend takes the green flag in a snarling bunch. But in turn two mid-pack cars touched wheels, causing a major pileup. A red flag was thrown, and the race was stopped at the starting line as emergency crews removed the track blockage. The cars regridded single file, and the race was restarted with 8 cars missing. After the restart, Ira jumped into the lead, followed by the 00 car of Bill Noble of Manhattan, Kansas, and Edwards in third. Coming under the Nissan Bridge, it's Noble, followed by Ira and the number 87 car of Fred Clark of Jacksonville, Florida. At the dip, Ira passed Noble to take the lead. Next time by, it's Clark leading Noble and Edwards.
The veteran Noble has just collected $1,000.
But by lap number 9, Noble has taken the lead and wins the $1,000 bonus.
I'll tell you, that is experience. That is a well-prepared car.
This time by the Nissan Bridge, it's Edwards, followed by the number 80 car of Stephen Davis of Powder Springs, Georgia, and the smoking Noble.
Some smoke trailing out of his car has dropped to 30. He got passed by 74 and 80. Your 6th leader, 74, then 80, then 71.
On lap number 13, Davis overtakes Edwards with a heavily smoking Noble in third.
Working at lap number 13, only 5. 74,
Noble regains the lead from Edwards in turn number 1 with Davis third.
So Bill Noble, he may have a smoke bomb back there. 172, almost bump drafting.
Next time by, it's Edwards, Davis, and Noble.
So your leader, 74, again, takes over the
On lap 16, Noble regains the lead, but no one knows how long the smoking engine will hold on. Davis's transmission begins to fail, and he drops off the pace.
'71, '74, '72, '80, and '75, and from 4th back, the battle has become a free-for-all. They're going wide, they're coming out.
After finishing second last year, Bill Noble held on to win his second national championship in one of the most hotly contested races of the weekend. 1.8 seconds behind and soaked in oil from Noble's engine, Mark Edwards finished second, followed by Brian McCarthy of Sacramento, California, in third. At the Sunday Awards banquet, Noble was awarded the coveted Road Racing Drivers Club Mark Donahue Award for the driver displaying the best combination of driving skill and sportsmanship. Noble had loaned his race engine to a fellow competitor and raced with his backup engine.
To win.
Formula V was the biggest field for the 1991 runoffs with 42 cars on the grid. The class has prospered recently from an influx of enthusiasm and a new technology, and it can always be counted on for evenly matched heads-up racing. Number 80, Stephen Davis, qualified his racer's wedge on the pole, 19/1000th of a second, ahead of the number 00 Caracal of two-time defending champion Bill Noble. The well-behaved field took the green, and Davis took the lead, followed by number 72, Roger Siebenahler, and number 89, Mace German. On the back straight, German and Noble drafted by Siebenahler. Davis pulled out to a several-length lead, and Noble took second from German in turn 1. With Davis out front, Noble led an 8-car draft that finished out the top 10 positions. Slowly, Noble began to break away from the draft and catch up to Davis. Seventh starter, number 51, Skip Streets, had moved up and took third from German in turn 1.
The war is on. Everybody got in line.
Noble took the lead before the dip on lap 6. Entering turn 8, Noble experienced shifter trouble and quickly dropped back many positions. Davis inherited the lead, but lost it when Streets and German drafted by. Davis reclaimed second from German in turn 1. But lost the spot again on the back straight. Streets maintained the lead, but German stayed right there as the first 5 cars had pulled away from the pack. On lap 10, number 77, Jim Carney, got by Davis for third. Headed for turn 6, Carney and Davis pulled to the inside, with Carney taking second and Davis spinning. German retook second on the back straight. In turn 1, Siebenahler got by Carney going up the hill, but lost the spot at turn 5. Streets was driving very smoothly to build a 2 to 3 second lead over the great 3-car battle for third, a big margin for Formula V's at the runoffs. For several laps, Carney got by German for second, only to lose the spot on straight. Carney finally stayed ahead of German under the bridge on lap 16. In turn 1, Siebenahler went off course and lost several positions. Davis had been charging hard after his spin to catch the second-place battle. At the checkered flag, Skip Streets won his first national championship, 4.7 seconds ahead of the tight-running Jim Carney in second and Mace German in third.
Welcome to the 43rd SCCA Runoffs. Last year in Formula V, it was a classic battle at Mid-Ohio. Let's just count the lead changes between Brad Stout, Jeff Lohead, and Bob Neumeister. Throughout the competition, these three swapped the top spot lap after lap. Each one taking turns at the front. Sure, there was the occasional spin like Colin Cross, but back up front, guess what? Yep, you guessed it, more lead changes back and forth. Each time down the straightaway, you could count that there would be at least 1 or 2 lead changes throughout. Takahisa Yamaoka and Jonathan Weisheidt, they get tangled up at the end of the straightaway, go off into the gravel, but back up to the front, yep, the lead changes, they continue back and forth all the way to the end. On the final lap, Stout gets by one last time to get to the checkers, and he takes his 4th Formula V National. Formula V took the green in 2007, 3 wide into turn 1, and Brad Stout went to the point. On the next lap, Michael Verisons dove past Stout for his turn up front.
Them stay with Michael Verisons, a driver on the front row right now, that number 65, the red car, the Speed Sport. He's unbelievably quick. They're going to have to work together to be able to stay with Verisons. That car, very aerodynamic, the flat front and a long tapered rear end. And now we're looking for green to come, and we've got it. Green, green, green. Look at this. 43. Formula V is going to roll down here into turn number 1. We got a couple drivers left to right. Yeah, those guys were moving all over. Look at, we got a couple guys. That's Ed Woolmer. Somebody into Woolmer. Couple of cars together. A bunch of cars getting together there. Ed Woolmer, one of them, but he's been able to continue. It just keeps happening here. All these drivers getting caught up. We've seen that. We don't usually see that actually in Formula V. Normally they're pretty easy on the start, but we had a bunch of guys going back and forth, tagging into each other. Look at all these guys involved in this one here. A bunch of guys going to try to get refired here. 2 drivers hooked up right there, though. It looks like we may be going to a full course yellow here. I'm not sure at this point.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to. We got a couple cars stuck on the straight. But, you know, that happens when you get such a long run down to turn 1 and the guys are getting a draft and think, I got a draft, I'll pull out, but there's somebody there.
That's it.
And it catches the back of somebody's car, spins him around. These guys, you know, I don't know if they're going to be able to get that cleaned up in time or not, but they're still out there racing pretty hard. You can see how the drafts kept everybody really close together here.
Well, let's have a look what we have here right now. Verison did get the lead. Looks like Chris Jennerjohn up into 2nd spot. Brad Stout up to 3rd. Livermore back into 4th. That's Bruce Livermore now in the 4th position. So everybody kind of getting settled in here. We'll have to see exactly what they decide to do here right now. But as we said, it is Verison's out to the lead. What a rough one there for Ed Woolmer, as he had a really good qualifying run into 11th spot. And like you said, people are just starting to go in left and right. Normally they don't do that. Normally people hold their line all the way up to the first corner as everybody gets settled in. But man, they've just start line incident. There's a bunch of Formula Vs getting together. Luckily, no one went over. We lost a bunch of drivers out of that race as we continue on here now. They're trying to catch back up to Michael Verisons.
And Michael Verisons just seems to be able to just drive off into that. Stout coming back by again, up to do 2nd. He had lost it coming down the other straight. Let's see if he can come down in here and pick that back up. And he doesn't look like he can do it. He got out there.
Those are the 2 drivers. Those are the 2 drivers that battled so well together at the June Sprints. That is Bruce Livermore in the 37 and Brad Stout in the 35. They were side by side coming across the line. And here we go, coming back up the hill here. 2-3 wide coming up the hill. Through turn number 6, there's a driver off, and the exit of turn 6 as well. Livermore still in 2nd, Stout in 3rd. 4th spot is Jennerjohn. Well, that's your battle. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now. They're trying to catch back up.
You know, the only thing they're getting right now is a good view of Verison. He's backed off about a 2nd now, which only puts him about a 2nd faster than everybody.
That's it, yeah, you're right. Backed off to be a 2nd quicker. Rick Shields, though, running 2nd. Jennerjohn right back up in the hunt for a podium as he currently runs in 4th. Livermore gets shuffled back into 5th spot. Again, this is all going to change when we go down the front straightaway.
Yeah, it's coming to the... Oh, look at that. Yep.
3 wide coming into Canada corner. Hearn. Jennerjohn to the outside. Spin. Oh, that's Livermore connecting. A couple drivers. Oh, we got a driver over. We just driver over there. Number 87 of David Andrade goes over.
And stayed over.
Andrade goes over. Livermore involved as well. Rick Shields was involved in that one. Full course yellow here. This will be the end of the race, I would expect. Full course yellow here as drivers getting together. Somebody got into the back of Livermore and spun him around.
You know, the interesting thing about this is you're going to have the results of this race, and Verisons is going to win by a 2nd.
That's right.
It's going to look like no gap, close race.
That's right.
It's gonna...
He had a 31-second advantage.
Almost 32, yep.
Almost 32-second advantage.
These guys may not catch him in the pace car by the end of the race.
They might not. You're right. So full course yellow right now as we were coming into the final lap. So that is going to be it. So, folks, your winner in Formula V is going to be Michael Verisons, as if there was any doubt. He just had this one dominated. Looks like Charles Hearn and Brian Jennerjohn are going to finish off the podium here.
Yeah, I got to ask you though, was there no possibility of you guys working together to try and catch that red car in front of you?
No, sir.
No way.
No way at all. He's he's found something, and I think probably some of it is in his engine. I think some of it is in his driving ability, because as you saw, I'm sure the camera footage shows, he drove an impeccable race. Everything about what he did was top drawer, first class.
Well, congratulations. This is one second place you are definitely going to celebrate.
Oh, my son actually told me, he sent me a card in the mail, not in the mail, but in my bag on the way up here, and he said, you know, the old Ricky Bobby quote, if you're not first, you're last. Well, son, I'm not first, but I'm not last. And I've got the card in here somewhere. It's got a 4-leaf clover in it. So you're right. This is a second place I won't ever forget.
Well, congratulations on the silver. Okay. Well, I think I saw this gentleman go from second to seventh in about the length of the straightaway. Please, Brian, tell us, this had to be one of the most exciting drives of your life.
I don't know when I've had more fun.
Really?
I mean, this has been fun. There were a lot of good drivers. It was close, and my congratulations to Mike Verison. He deserves it. Good win. Second to Charles. But it was, I don't know when I've enjoyed myself so much. So.
And who else could do this besides the Formula V family? I mean, so much trust. You guys don't have any fenders. If you touch, someone's going to go in the air.
Well, I think there might have been a bit of luck involved. We were close, very close at times. And on the last lap, just before the double yellow, I had to go in the grass back in Thunder Valley to get by. So, I mean, a lot of maneuvering.
Something we were thinking about up in the booth. Did you see what happened to Brad Stout? Because he was way off.
Yeah. I was behind him, and both of us were going a little bit fast into turn one, and he just overcooked it. He almost caught it, but he really stuffed it. I hope I didn't have anything to do with that. No.
Listen, congratulations on a great third place, and that smile says it all, guys. Okay.
Elliot, man, I'll tell you, it's great to see those guys down there so happy, and you could just see that Michael Verison was kind of holding back tears there for a second. I told you that during the broadcast, he wanted to win this race so badly, and now he's going to enjoy himself on a victory lap here. What a great thing for Mike Verison.
Well, like you say, Greg, this is one of the most popular classes in the SCCA, and it's fun. But right now, there's a very serious atmosphere down here as the cars begin to pull out. These are 800-pound cars with limited horsepower. I don't think you can say enough about momentum. They have to keep the momentum up through every corner, down every straightaway. It's possible to draft even with the limited horsepower. But if they get anything sideways whatsoever, anywhere around these 4 miles, they are going to lose spots. They have to drive the cars very correctly. Now, the tires are skinny. They'll be easier to warm up. So hopefully we'll have a nice, clean start with, again, just under 40 competitors. Formula V, affordable. SCCA, join it. Once you buy this car, you can do race weekends for several $100s, not several $1,000s. An engine can last you all season long. Okay, guys, get ready for one heck of a Formula V show here at Elkhart Lake. Back to you guys.
Absolutely, this is going to be spectacular. He wants to see Brandon Peterson fade away, and Brandon wants to keep him close. We're green! At the Runoffs Formula V under contest, there's the fan out. These cars narrow enough. They're 3, 4, 5 abreast already. And these guys amazingly are comfortable doing it. And a huge start by Neumeister up from the 4th spot, or Siebenaller, the 4th spot, right up into 2nd already. Here we go, down through 1, everybody through. You know, you see a crowd like that, you would expect a massive incident. These guys are so used to it. So far, so good. A little lock up there down into turn 3. The 2 Jenner Johns, 46 and 48, recognizable there in those very uniquely painted up cars. The run down through the sweep and into turn 5 for the first time. It's on.
What a great sight in racing. I mean, this is just absolutely great to see this many cars. A lot of these guys have raced together for years. It's like a high-speed ballet, and they're really used to their tendencies and racing in very close quarters.
Here we go, down into 5. It is Bratchins, Harrison's, right leading. Neumeister, check that Siebenaller all over the back of him. Boy, Siebenaller had a great start. Ooh, we did finally have somebody out. Looks like is that a nose cone maybe that got tinked. coming off of that car, can't quite pick up the number. Everybody giving him room as he'll just blend back in and try and get going with it once again. And here's that pack racing. There is Harrison, the red number 65, leading down and through turn 8. Siebenaler in tow. A little bit of a gap back to the two cars. Right now duking it out for that final. You get to any turn on the track because of how they run. And they are putting on a great show right now. There's those. Oh! That is the exit of turn 8. And 4 cars involved that we see, maybe a couple others. And that is a problem because that car is dead stick. It looks like it may have some problems there. That is the 74 of Stuart Delaney crawling out of his car. He got into the tires. And there's a reason you got tires on the inside of that turn, because that's the hook slide into those barriers. It happens.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, wow.
And this is now, that's over in the carousel. So that's more cars involved in a different spot of the track. It may have been started at turn 8, somebody getting together, and then it continued off to the exit of the carousel. So this is going to be interesting to see what might unfold here. That might be. Meanwhile, down the front straight and heading into turn 1, the battle is on, and that is Siebenaler, that white 72, but look at Verrison's down to the inside, trying to get it done. Gets by Shields anyway, but can't get Siebenaler. And Shields, well, once again, realized what was happening, just opened that gap up to let Verrison's in, thinking we don't want to let Siebenaler get away by running side by each anywhere here. But that little bit of dicing, Davis right back in it.
Boy, and I'm surprised we haven't gone to a full course yellow. Yeah. They're definitely trying to give them as many green flag laps as possible, but there was a lot of carnage. There was also a lot of oil spilled on that track, so we're really going to have to be heads up going through there.
Yeah, I think they were thinking maybe that oil from that one car was on the inside of the lane, and here we go. Verrison's now down to the inside of Siebenaler and back into the lead. To me, it's the cars off in the gravel right on the edge of the track in the carousel that would maybe be of at least equal concern here. Now, Verrison's has shown an ability. He did it last year at the Runoffs. He did it here at the June Sprints to get out and run by himself and drive away. And he is now in the front. So the question is at this point, can Siebenaler and Shields and Davis be disciplined enough to stick together and try and close it up? There's a look at the 42, Bill Johnson out of Leawood, Kansas, in the Portable Toolworks Vortex, having some issues.
Yep.
Oh, there's oil. That must be the issue. Verrison's has had it off, and he ran way wide. Siebenaler maybe got into some of that, ran wide as well, and now Shields puts the hand up. And the reason is that if we're not full course caution, we are certainly in a station yellow over there because of those cars in the gravel. So right away he realized, I got to back out of this or that'll be an illegal pass.
This is absolutely a poor call on SCCA's part. You can see that crash from a distance. They should have gone yellow. They should be yellow right now because you need to clean up that oil. As a driver, you've got a debris flag out there. You can't tell if it's fluids or if it's body parts, and certainly hung out or potential leader.
And now the full course caution does come out. So maybe there was something that the officials didn't spot down there. Boy, Davis locking that right front tire up as they came into that station. Big happens with Davis getting help with somebody. It might be settled down by these 4 guys, and it is by no means settled. Look at that. I mean, look for a minute like Siebenaler might have that margin, and just by the time they get out of turn 6, it's gone. He's got Shields all over him. Peterson right behind him as they head down into turn 6. And this is one of those tough decisions that, based on what you were talking about, if I get a run in terms of Shields, do I want to pass Siebenaler now and run the risk of losing because I get drafted past on the way up in either into 12 or certainly maybe up the hill? So right now, Shields and the black 49 of Peterson just working to stay close to Siebenaler here, and they've got the draft now as they come to the kink.
Oh, all this at such high speeds, too. Flat through the kink, trying to come up with a race-winning strategy. 2 corners to go. You can't script any better racing than this.
Just unbelievable at this point. Here we go. Last time through the kink. Here we go. Siebenaler to the inside. Shields trying to defend. Peterson there as well. Peterson going to make it double as they go through 12 on the outside of Siebenaler. Siebenaler not giving it up just yet. Now they tuck in. Shields has that little bit of a margin, but it can evaporate in a hurry. Last time, up to 14. Here we go. Jennerjohn has come back into the mix after dropping back just a tad. Here we go. Out of the final turn, the run up the hill, Peterson's got the toe. Siebenaler has Jennerjohn right behind him. Here we go. Who's going to feel the benefit? Is it going to be enough? Shields. Here comes Siebenaler looking for help. Peterson splits the gap. We are 3 abreast at the line, and it is Shields. The margin of victory, 17 one-thousandths of a second for Shields over Siebenaler. Peterson a whopping 65 one-thousandths of a second behind in third. That is your podium. The podium, folks, covered by 65 one-thousandths of a second. Unbelievable. Bart, let's take another look at that finish. It was spectacular as Shields celebrating big time already, and understandably, watch this run up the hill. Here it comes, Bart, and it was spectacular.
Oh, he timed it perfect. Boy, he was just there. It was so close to call, right at the line. Absolutely amazing finish. I could watch that over and over again.
Well, you saw how close it was. And for Siebenaler, if either Peterson or Jennerjohn had been able to stay with him, it may have been just enough. But that 3 abreast is what really helped out Shields there. But look how close that was. You know, the top 4 cars covered by a tenth at the line.
Up nice and slowly by Verachens with Neumeister alongside. Watch for that green. There's the double yellow from station 15, the green. Boy, they're holding it. Now it flies. We are racing. Formula V National Championship is underway. And Verachens able to get the nose of that Speed Sport just a little bit ahead. And Rick Shields, the defending champion, trying to squeeze in. And a big pop move. I think that might be Weisheit looking to the outside. That was the 61 of Whiteside. Indeed, boy, that was a pretty move. He went from 6th to 3rd. Ooh, somebody way off. Good thing they paved that runoff out there a little bit.
I'd say.
So Verachens in that red machine leads from Siebenaler, but a great start, 6th to 3rd by Jonathan Weisheit in that JK Technology sponsored V that now sits 3rd. But boy, he has got company right there behind him in the form of Shields.
You can already see him starting to form 2 by 2 and maybe 3, starting to work together in a draft.
Here we go, that long run down in. And you know, people were walking the paddock, finding it, as you talked about that friend, going, look, if we get a little bit of a break. Suddenly, Siebenaler in the white V has dropped back and is now battling for the bronze and trying to fend off Shields. This is going to be interesting. Oh, that lap car, beautiful. Just around the outside of the carousel, well off the line, willing to gunk his tires up with all that clag out there and let these guys go after. Here we go. Garrisons with Neumeister right there into the king.
This is the shot right here.
This is it.
Canva corner.
Now he's clear. There he goes.
Oh, he
Neumeister makes the move, Chip.
He took the inside from Canva corner, too.
Watch
Great
for
move.
it. Here we go. Neumeister. Here comes Siebenaler trying to get inside of Garrisons as well. Can he double it? No, but he does maybe get Garrisons. Neumeister's through. Ooh! Hits those rumbles. Loosens the car up a little bit. Now loss of momentum, however, and Siebenaler, can he shut the door? And Veracens, he does. Shields now all over the back of Veracens. Neumeister, it is the last turn and the run up the hill. Draft can still play a huge factor here. Neumeister, look at Veracens swing out and carry momentum. Neumeister, he is doing the weave, trying to break the draft. Will it work? Here comes Siebenaler. He's got the toe. They're not there yet. Siebenaler pops out. Siebenaler as they come by. Siebenaler gets the goal. Neumeister second. And Veracens comes home in 3rd and completes the medal podium. Oh my, with Shields 4th, Andrade 5th. And then the gap that we expect it'll be Stephen Davis. But Siebenaler, well, that was the strategy, that was the chess move, and that was checkmate.
Wow. What a finish.
Great Lakes Division this year, 3 top 5s and 6 races in 2012.
Donnie Isley comes in here from Fletcher, North Carolina with his Agitator by Brookshire, Agitator 016A. Gavin Sweeney from San Francisco along to there. He's 2nd runner-up in Northern Pacific, Sweeney Racing Crusader Formula V. Brandon Abbott from Livonia, Michigan, where I used to be up there with Jack Roush, Great Lakes Region 9th place finisher. Hoosier Auto Works Vector's race car, Vector AM1. Ron Wake from Lafayette, California, another long tow, is the Southern Pacific champion in a Ron Chuck Engineering Mysterian M4. Robert Neumeister, who's done well here before for Pueblo, Colorado, is a Hoosier Tires Redline Oil Lynx runner-up in 11 last year. So then we got Jim, and this is a tough one for me, it's Javier. That's at least how you told me it was anyway.
Yes, I did.
LaGrange, Illinois, Central Division, 3rd place, powder coating specialist, LRE citation. Stuart Delaney from Plymouth, Michigan is in an LRE.
40 minutes of racing, and it starts now for the Formula V class at Road America.
And all we can hope for is we don't lose timing and scoring on this one.
It's going to be exciting through turn 1, turn 3, and turn 5. I feel we're going to have a few issues going on here. We'll see if they get clean through 1.
Already, and they're already 2 rows deep. It could be 4 wide now, or 5.
Pole sitter is that red car in front, Verison's. The white car with the red tip nose, that's Roger Siebenhaler.
Oh, knock up in some contact.
Couple of cars, open wheels, jumping one another there.
Yeah, they're all over the place back in the back. There's 4 cars, 5 cars off. There's 2 more just made contact.
Wow.
Everybody continues. That's unbelievable.
Locking wheels is certainly something to be concerned about.
Trying to clean their act up, so they go, oh, we're going to have a spin. Not yet. I spoke too soon. We just had an out-of-control car for a minute. Anyway, here's a spin on the other hand, right into turn 6. And that's a bad place. Look at the right rear suspension damage.
He is not going anywhere, unfortunately, and hopefully at the bottom of 5, the flags are waving. The 77 of Rick Shields started 3rd. He was running 4th at the turn there and got a little hot in the 6, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll never figure out what happened.
We saw 2 cars lock wheels.
Oh, there's a crash right here.
Oh, my.
And that corner worker almost got, man, that was on the...
That was Charles Hearn, the Super Sweep eligible driver. For some reason, as they came up the hill to get the green flag.
Car contact with another car, climbed up and over, and the flip we always talk about with open wheels.
Look at his nose. He hit the wall with that.
Oh, he hit a ton. He hit right where that corner worker was, and the corner worker had his back to the track, something he should never, ever do. They were coming up to get the green. And
yes, Charles Hearn.
Well, this won't go green the whole lap, I can't imagine.
Wow, Hearn going for a super sweep. Yep. Bladarik is saying, hey, let's go, Jeff Jennerjohn. And Chris Jennerjohn, excuse me.
He goes, we're faster with me behind you. Yep. We're faster with you in front. Let's go.
This chess match really does play out every lap of practice, every lap of the race.
Now, that was neat because he hand signaled. He says, get by me, because he feels that they're faster as a tandem with the other way around, with Jennerjohn in front. Oh, boy. This is going to be... Ooh. Good run.
Harrison's a bit of a hangout there. I saw him also through the carousel getting a little bit out of skew.
I don't think Siebenhaler's got enough without those guys behind him helping him to get around Harrison's on his own accord. We'll see.
This will be the final lap to decide. Gold, silver, and bronze. Bronze in contention as well as the race victory here.
Those guys just out far enough back that they're not going to be in the play for the win unless these 2 get together.
It'll be decided amongst these 4 cars.
Yeah, see, and Roger just gets up to the back. There's got a good exit right there. He's got a really good exit. Harrison's got a little loose. Maybe he'll try him in the 5. I don't think he's got enough by himself to get up there, though.
Siebenhaler will try to get as close as he can, perhaps just the front straightaway draft. Maybe what he gets. He gets the toe off him and try to spit out at the last second.
Well, he could have done it for sure if he had the help of the 2 guys behind him, but by himself. Now watch, this time Harrison is going to be defensive. He's going to run down the inside because he knows it's the last lap.
Yep.
And he knows Siebenhaler is going to try something. He's got to try something. It's one of the only opportunities he has is right here. It's close.
Siebenhaler right there, yes. A little bit of a brake dust there, a little brake smoke as he locked him up a bit. Going into 5, up to 6 here for the final time in Formula V. Harrison's leading Roger Siebenhaler.
I'd take a shot at him at 8. No, no. Here's a big scrum going on back further in the pack.
Harrison, the gold medal in 2009, has won 4 of the last 5 poles. Roger Siebenhaler, the defending race champion, is Mysterium Chassis in this final circuit. That's all for 4th on back, 4th through 9th, right here.
That's Jeff Loghead and Weishite and Charles McCormick.
Yep, McCormick was up to 5th. Now he's back to 7th. Ron Whitson's in that group. Stephen Davis is still to be heard from in 9th.
Without a mistake, Harrison's got this in 1.
And those guys have been battling. 2 wide, 3 wide every time up the front straightaway, but all focused now in the final few turns on Harrison's.
Siebenhaler got a good run off that kink right there, or off through the carousel. Now he's got a good run from the kink. It's going to go down the cannon corner. He makes his move now early.
Whoa.
He might get this done.
Side by side here through this area. The advantage to the inside is Verison, but the next corner is a right-hander.
Oh, this is going to be good. Roger's got the position.
Wow, what a bold move here. Knowing Verison has the straightaway speed, what a great move by Siebenthaler here to get it done in the back half.
Caught him off guard there. Well, that's a very good move, but now Verison's is really strong up here. Here we go. It's going to be the drag race to us.
We'll decide the medals right here. One turn and half a straightaway to go to the finish line. Siebenthaler leading Verison's off the final corner.
I take everything I said back, Roger. Good job so far. Now it's going to be tight.
Oh, boy. He'll give the outside to Verison. Siebenthaler Verison's in a drag race to the finish line. Top end proves true for our pole winner and now gold medalist for the second time. Michael Verisons will win it.
Roger Siebenthaler did a great job. That is as much as he could hope for. I knew that he didn't have enough car.
And Gary Blenark will get bronze. He beat Jenner John off the final corner. This is the battle for fourth on back. What a great run. Getting fourth, Charles McCormick. Ron Whitson up from 15th to 6th. Jeff Log had 7th, Stephen Davis 8th, Jonathan Weishaupt
in the world. But for amateur drivers, one race stands above all others. For the past 50 years, the Sports Car Club of America Runoffs has been the pinnacle of amateur motorsports. A single, winner-take-all event that can take a lifetime to win and only split seconds to lose. This is where champions are crowned, where professional careers are launched. This is where greatness is born.
About it.
This is the quintessential SCCA racing class. It goes back to the early 60s, and in that time, one of the first formulas was created, the idea being inexpensive and very competitive racing, and it was based on the Volkswagen Bug. These are Volkswagen components in Formula V, for the V's for VW. It's that air-cooled flat 4 engine that anybody under the age of 35 probably doesn't know anything about, but everybody over knows it very, very well. And they run a 1300cc version of that engine. They run the Volkswagen transmission. It's a 4-speed manual shift. The whole suspension is the Volkswagen, especially the front end. 4-wheel drum brakes. I mean, everything from about an early 60s VW Bug, stripped to the bare minimum with a body on it. They weigh, with a driver in it, they weigh only a little over 1,000 pounds.
And to get a close insight to what these cars are, a man down on pit lane, John Bizignano.
I'll tell you, these cars are so refined from my old 1967 Form car Formula V. Let me just show you how refined they've got. Dynamically, look at all the little tiny fairings, just trying to create some type of flow over this suspension that's out in the air very much. Also, this little tiny flaring here trying to control the airflow of the car around the side of the body, cutting down on drag. If you look straight down at this suspension piece here, here's the suspension piece, but here's this flared cover, and inside of there, that's the brake line. These used to be hanging out in the free air, flopping around. A little bit further back down this side of the car, again, the whole side of the car, this car is as wide as the driver's bottom is. That's how wide this car is. And the whole rear suspension has been encased once again and tapered here at the end to try and reduce drag considerably at the rear. Inside the wheels here, you have the inside wheel flarings. These were brand new even in Formula One and in sports car racing just a few years ago. And here they are in what people consider one of the most basic classes here in Formula V. On the very back of the car, the good old Nerf bar. Now, if you look at this bar, and if you look at the nose of the car behind him, this is where that matches up perfectly, is right about there and back over there. These cars have become so sophisticated, and the drivers, they use one great force, if you can call it a force, it's momentum. They were talking even about the wind coming down the straightaway, how that's going to affect momentum and the draft on the last few laps. This is going to be a very close event.
Boy, look at the string. 48 Formula V set to take the green flag here. Coming up the hill, talking to some of these drivers earlier, and they said the draft plays heavily here. I want to be a lot of these guys on their strategy to be in second or third coming up the hill, but right now you want to be in first. And can Verisons pull away? Not let the field does not want to let him do that, but it is green flag now.
Away they go, flat out in their 1300cc VWs. Race prepared. They turn about 6,500 RPM, which is 2,000 more than they did stock.
And Verisand's in the lead here. Stout looking to make the move. He's going to slide in. That is the number 8 of Lowhead. Lowhead into second place. Stout back to third.
They look like insects swarming.
Oh, we got contact there.
Off.
A couple of cars. We'll try to get a car number on that. Is that the number 12 or number 2? Sorry, number 2. Looking on our list here, 48 cars.
There he is, Alexander Reiser.
Alexander Reiser.
The Royal Pond Vortec is in trouble. He's got a little damage, and another car was sneaking away.
Getting a report that that car might have rolled over, so it looks like he was okay in the car. A lot of movement there. But hopefully he's can continue on and get back in. Whoa!
They're bumping in the brake zone. Everybody's still going straight ahead, but somebody came up a big loser there.
Look at that, 4 wide coming up the hill.
Up for 6.
Not a good idea, I don't think.
From behind, they look like one of those Star Wars
TIE fighters.
Starfighters, the TIE fighters.
TIE fighters, yep. TIE fighters coming up the hill.
Don't they, though?
They
That's
sure do.
Pretty cool. They're flat out. They run 3rd and 4th gear.
Between all the drivers that are competing in Formula V this weekend.
Wow, there's a lot of good drivers in this series. Going to be a lot of great racing. But I don't know about catching Verisons if his car stays reliable.
And Brad Stout getting a good run here. He's going to get on the inside now of Bill Johnson and take that position. Can he make it stick? He does on the outside. It's going to be now Brad Stout up to 3rd, that final podium spot. It still is, however, Roger, what is it? Siebenauer? Siebenauer, got it. Siebenauer.
Rocking and rolling. All over Bill Johnson. He's probably going to pick up another position before long. He's run a little wide through the middle of the carousel to try to apex it later and straighten the exit. He's going for an exit speed.
And you make that can you make that a 2-corner or is it just just kind of in the middle as you go through?
You can double apex it, and that's what we just saw Blanerick do. I think he's trying to build momentum for a pass into Canada corner. In a Formula V, you got to set up those passes early on.
Well, they are
Sometimes
side by side, 2
ahead.
rows deep coming here into Canada corner.
At least 2 rows. Look at that crowd.
Got to be careful through here.
Hard on it. More tire smoke. On the limit braking.
Yeah, Brad Stout put 2 his right sides in the grass. They didn't seem to slow him up too much.
Sorry about that. Who's that blue car?
Why is it?
Weisheight.
Oh, a little bump there. Big bump, and they get hooked up.
Little body work and a spin for Bill Johnson. He'll probably try to keep going, see if he can run without his nose piece.
And this grass is very... Michael Verisands is in the lead. We have the 72.
Siebenauer is leading this. We're watching the race for 2nd place here, folks, because it's hot and heavy. Verisands has a 14-second lead.
Yeah, he's really pulled out, but behind him it's 14.0, 14.12, 14.17, 14.45, 14.74, 14.9. That's how close they are for this battle in second, a 7-car breakaway.
And at back of this pack, we have the 80 car right there of Stephen Davis. That guy, I remember watching him win at Road Atlanta years ago.
Yeah, he's right from your neck of the woods there too, isn't he?
I don't know.
Danielsville?
Let's have a look.
Danielsville, Georgia?
He's from Georgia. He's a Georgia boy. And he knows tracks with long straights.
Back to 9th here. We have a 242.4, 242.2, 242.1 by Charles McCormick.
Yeah, Dale Rader back there in 18th has just turned to 43.8.
And here you go, making it 3 wide once again.
Oh, wow. Make that 4, would you? Take a picture of that.
4 wide coming down the hill. Into the braking zone for turn number 1. It will be Brad Stout on the inside.
Stout gets by everybody.
Oh, but he's going to run a little bit wide, it looks like, and back to the inside.
He's not going to hold it.
Blanerick is trying to see if he can hold his position there and get by Stout coming down here into turn number 2. He will.
Yeah,
Brad
but
Stout
see
back
how
to
he's
3rd.
tight. His line in
trip to Le Mans if you're that GT3 Academy like some of the drivers have done. Nissan has a huge setup down here for them.
Who needs it, Jeff Lepper? That's just going to see a race. Get a Formula V and go be a race. That's what I'm talking about.
But you know, the coolest thing about these guys are they're running and they're outside the top 10 and they're still racing like they're going for the national championship. This is absolutely great stuff even through the middle of the field.
Yeah, we got Rick Shields here. He's leading his group. And there are groups like this throughout the 48-car field.
This is 9th all the way back to 19th, and they're just battling it back and forth. And this is really the battle for 9th position. It looks like it's going for the lead.
Oh, yeah, you still want it. You got to check those mirrors every lap, look for an advantage, take them down. This is a good time. The thing about video games is you just don't feel anything. You get out there on track, and those G-forces, man, they make the juices flow. For me, it's like a drug. I want to feel those G's. I don't want to watch other people do it. Wait a minute.
You are watching everybody do it.
Yeah, but I get to try it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's for sure. Number 88, that Formula V there. Using my number, I'll let him have it this time.
Karen Swanson. Yep. He's in the 43s. Half of this pack is in the 43s, just like the group running for second. But Verison's up there running 41s. It pulls some oil past those loose valve seals. They set them up loose for less drag.
Charles McCormick getting the pass in for second through Canada corner.
Oh, yeah, somebody was not strong off
happen,
of Canada. I'm sorry, Jeff.
I'm going to go for it.
I'm just trying to pick up that car number off the leader of this group, the race for second.
Charles McCormick in the number 90. He's followed by Jeff Lowhead.
Right on the exhaust system, and you might be seeing that.
Looks like Stephen Davis. Aren't they the fastest right before they blow? 41.07, the fastest lap.
Oh, we got a spin in turn 5.
Don't have the number on that. That is Charles McCormick.
McCormick's backwards. He's got it running.
He was in second that last time by. Not sure if there was contact. If he just made a mistake.
The faster you are,
and they just split him.
You can get 2 or 3 cars. Stout just did. He passed 2 cars down into 1. Smoking. That thing's hanging on. That's big smoke. He might have broken a ring or something now, I'm starting to think.
Yeah, Stephen Aller into second place. Brad Stout
an oil leak.
Third. Heavy smoke coming out.
Oh, a little sloppy behind him. Lohman gets out on the curb. I think they're getting a little intoxicated back there by that nasty smell.
He's still putting the battle on here for second, though, not letting it affect him.
Yeah, look at that thing run. It hasn't hurt the engine. It might be just a leak.
Well, or like we've said before, it's fastest right before it blows. Brad Stout down on the inside here. He'll make that pass for second. He has about a half a lap left to see if he can make that engine last. It seems coming out from the right side of the motor, it looked like it was the left side. So
it did.
The
oils, could be the James Bond theory.
The oil's out of the left side of the motor, and now all the oil's coming out of the right side of the motor now.
Yeah, and you pull that lever and you oil down the track for the guys behind you. The oil slick, they called it back in the old James Bond Aston Martin days. Brad Stout running good on this last lap.
He sure is. Can he hold off? Stephen Aller gets a great run down there, coming through, entering the carousel to the right. The oil should stop if it all goes to the left side of the motor, so no more smoke.
That is one heck of a smoke screen. I mean, it looks like it's kind of hard to see for the guys behind him.
Yeah, smoking heavily now, and you got to start to wonder, you got to be careful with, you're following this guy. You don't want him to put oil on your tires coming into a braking zone of one of these high-speed corners like Canada Corner coming up. Or
like
the kink here.
Right here, they look like they're sticking. And boy, they're all in the smoke screen. World War II. Nasty smell. Uh-oh, there moves afoot. Canada Corner, they're spreading out. They've already got by Stout. He's easy to identify now.
This is your battle for the podium space between these 5 guys right now.
Yes,
Roger Stephen Aller has it. Brad Stout is in third.
Wyside trying to get by Stout.
In fourth, but there it is. Michael Veresen, your 2013 SCCA Runoffs winner at the 50th run, and he'll go down in the record books with a 21-second lead over this battle for second.
Here we go. We're heading for the finish line. I don't think those guys can even see. There's so much smoke coming out of Stout's car. It's going to be Siebenauer second and Stout third in a cloud of smoke.
Wow, that Formula V, hang on. I don't even know if he has enough oil left for a pace lap or a cool-on lap, but way to go for Roger Siebenauer and Brad Stout. Completes your podium, but Michael Veresen's, what a huge victory for him.
Run to the medals in Formula V. Here we go. And again, this is pack racing at its finest. And Dennis Andrade, nice time move on the outside of the net. Here comes Andrew Whitson, 3 abreast, down into turn 2. It is tough math. 3 into 2. Can they make it work? Whitson at the last second tucks right back in and settles it in a little bit. And look at this, 3-4 abreast. Apex of turn 2.
Love this class.
Yeah, it sure is. Look at that. They're still 3 wide. 4 wide now down into turn number 3.
And everybody gets through. I mean, they are willing to go side by each, but they understand the consequences of touching wheels. They do it beautifully. So there we head down in, and it was Andrew Whitson from the 3rd spot able to sneak down when Andrade went wide outside. He just laced through underneath, and Whitson already on the attack on Verrisons. Oh, I don't know if there was contact. There was there as the 87 gets into him. Dennis Andrade and Verrisons touch. I couldn't tell though whether that, whether Whitson got into the back or Verrisons just had the back by it. As a matter of fact, up here at that very tricky turn 6, oh boy, they're going to have to go well off of their preferred line to get through. They both do, but they can't use the track. Schneider just drives off the track. I think he just didn't want to get in their way, but traffic, look what it did right there. Seriously, Siebenthaler got a bit balked.
Yeah, side by side on the apex of turn number 6, and I don't believe Siebenthaler can be able to recover from that.
Yeah, and both of them, without a doubt, too. Shields he was off his line. He had to turn in a little bit tighter, and that killed the momentum. So down the hill we go. Terrence Swanson put that car where he wanted it. Was absolutely brilliant through the corkscrew, down through turn 9. And, when you're having a drag race out of a tight corner for the finish, you want to have a gap, and he had one. Still using up every ounce of this racetrack, and Shields has gone around. Siebenthaler will sneak through. You can see Terrence Swanson celebrating madly. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic for him. And officially, well, unofficially still, but according to scoring, yes indeed, Roger Siebenthaler comes through, and Andrew Whitson will end up with the bronze as Shields facing backwards at the approach to turn number 11, watching that medal slip through his fingers.
Oh, and it was all by himself, too. There was not another car around there, and that's unfortunate.
65 to 77, Verrisons and Shields running 1 and 2, heading for the bus stop.
Verrison right down the center of the road, so it makes it really hard to make a decision which way to go around me. Shields runs really shallow entries to corners. It gives him a lot of speed in, but then he's got to stop the car. There's the pop right there.
On the outside, Shields trying it here on Verrisons.
Too early. I think that was too early.
Whitson in the 12 in 3rd spot.
Duck down, run down the hill, get the speed.
White flag this time by. Is this a test run? Is this, I'm going to see what I have for the last lap? They go 3 wide.
And look, 2 guys up on top are going to go right by both of them.
Hearn in the 37 working with, who's that in the front of the field there? Here comes Ferguson in the black 52 car.
That was one of those situations where they could have stayed, but instead they decided to go around, and look here. 3 wide, watch it.
That is the 12 car of Andrew Whitson taking advantage, grabbing the lead down into 1 with the white flag in the air.
I told you I thought he had something in that car. It looked good to me.
Big scramble here, and Whitson comes out on top of it and starts to lengthen the lead now in the infield.
They have 2 more really good opportunities left, though. We'll see how they play out. Whitson looked like he was biding his time. It looked like he had a good car under him. It's the first we've seen him at the front.
Yeah, Whitson pulling to the front of this field, but this one is not over. Just like we've been saying, last lap heroics has been part of the storyline much of the day here today. Day 2 of these SCCA runoffs. Here comes the 65 of Verrisons.
Nice pass.
Led a lot of laps, barges through on the inside on Hearn. Hearn's going to come right back at him.
He did barge through, too.
The 12 car of Whitson up front, but maybe not for long. Verrisons starting to show you the strength of that 65 car.
Yeah, Verrisons is tough. He knows how to get the job done here.
Out of the infield road course, up onto the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. This is the run around to the bus stop.
Whitson's a sitting duck right now. He made that pass a little too early. Here comes Verrisons, going to work the high side. Nobody behind him to help. Pops back down. That was wise.
Now, can Whitson be a little creative in his line here and protect this?
Oh, here comes the draft on top.
And Ferguson.
And
they go 3 wide. Ferguson looks to the high side, tucks back in behind Hearn. The bottom opens up, and Verrisons wants to make it 4 wide in there, heading to the bus stop.
Verrisons going to force the hand
They
right
may not
here.
all fit in here, boys. Oh, and Hearn comes out with the lead, and Ferguson from the outside takes second.
Nicely done.
Charles Hearn drives around him on the outside. Now what happens here when we get to turn 3 of the oval?
way up to the top of the racetrack.
Charles Sir says, no draft on me. I'm going by myself.
Now watch him run down the hill. That'll give him speed. He's up on top. He's 6 stories up. He's going to dive for the bottom. Here comes Verrison's.
Verrison's in the middle of the racetrack,
Get down
though,
there, man.
saving
Drive
ground
down.
on the inside. I don't think he's
can't
got it. I
believe
think
he left it up
Verrison's
there.
has too much speed here. Hearn on the high side. Crowds in behind Verrison's. They're 3 wide behind Verrison's, who's your leader coming to the Tri-Oval. Here's
There's about
Ferguson.
to be a big wreck.
Yeah, I was going to say, nose to tail to nose, it's going to be Verrison's for the win in Super V, in Formula V. Verrison's takes the Formula V victory.
He didn't run down the hill, get the advantage of running down off a 6-story bank.
I think he realized he had cars inside and he didn't have room to make it.
Boy, I don't know if he didn't have a spotter out. I'd have been screaming at him right then. Get down, get down.
Michael Verrison's rallying on the last lap, as we have seen several times today.
A lot of jockeying, and they're flat out. They got some good runs, and they've spread out wide. Oh my gosh,
5
look at those
wide.
open wheels.
5 wide, heading to turn 1. Scaler in the 19 trying to hang on. Verrison's in the 65. One car gets crossed up, puts a wheel in the dirt, and he gets straightened back out, and we are back underway.
Oh my gosh, that's hairy. So many cars so close together. Everybody on full alert.
Scaler in the 19's gotten shuffled back to third behind Verrison's. Flynn Lazier and Andrew Whitston trying to get to the front here.
Going to be action all the way through this race.
No
Scaler
question.
back to third. He may not have the racecraft to get back up there with these old champions.
We will see at 18 years of age. That's the 12 car moving to the front. That's Andrew Whitston.
From fourth.
The Rocket Motors Subway machine. Whitston, the driver, with a super sweep opportunity here by winning the National Points Championship, a U.S. Majors event, another prime event on the SCCA national schedule. If you can close that out with a runoffs victory, you are a Speedway. The 65 car, that's your pole sitter, Michael Verrison's past champion from Burlington, Wisconsin, alongside, obviously, on sticker tires, Brian Farnham from Edina, Ohio. 39 cars strong, looking for green, 19 laps, 40 minutes of clock time, and we are underway at Indy, and they are 5 and 6 wide.
I don't even want to think about it. They're all over the place. Beatles, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. As we watch the field arrow down the front straightaway here, it looks as though the 65 car of Verrison's may have the early advantage. We'll see what happens when they hit one. Dive bomb attempts. Brakes are locked up, and one car goes around. Some contact. The 48 car in trouble. The 9 has spun. The 26 off in the grass. The 71 taking the exit road and missing the turn completely. So we'll have at least a local yellow there. We've got one car stopped dead stick in the road. So that will cause everybody to slow down.
Fortunately, no one went upside down. We'll take a re-look at this. Everybody, there's no way that's going to work.
A couple of cars cut inside the curbing there to be in a safe area. Now, that may be allowed in this case, although normally you'd draw a penalty for that.
Yeah, you know, when you see that big cluster going in there, knowing there's no room for error, if somebody makes a mistake, it's not going to be one guy, it's going to be a whole bunch of us.
Yeah. The 9 car we saw turned around. Quinn Posner from Carnes, Washington, in his proto form, started in 15th spot. Top few cars clean.
Big air back there.
Yeah, the 90 car in serious trouble.
Boy, hit the back of a car.
Executive Formula V gold medal. It'll be his 6th overall if he can close the deal here in just a couple of seconds, and it appears he is well on his way to doing that. No challenge at all at this point. Last year, he won by 4.3 seconds over Buddy Lazier's son, Flynn, who's racing in F4 of the United States Championship powered by Honda these days. Championship to Verrison's as the double checkered flags wave here on Sunday at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So Verrison's will bring that car down pit lane and head for victory circle here at the Brickyard. A champion very worthy of the honor, no question about that.
Very clean car, you can see.
Getting the thumbs up and the applause from the SCCA member marshals who are working pit road. All the volunteers that make this such a great event, everyone here.
Out with anything that you need help with, and has been around, like I say, I don't know if he's been around as long as me. Nobody's been around as long as me, I don't think. But he's been around.
Yes, he has. So Michael Verrison's with the helmet off. And Hayward Wagner ready to jump in and talk to our champion.
Cords on the back tire. Look at
that. Look at that. He has worn that inside rear pretty much off.
Michael Verrison's, you've been chasing history for a number of years now. Now you are the winningest Formula V driver in the history of the runoffs.
I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a big honor. You know, I mean, the names that were before me here, you know, Stout and Bill Noble. You know, those guys, particularly Bill Noble. I mean, he was an icon in this class, and you know, I don't even want to say it. I mean, part of me feels like I'm not worthy to say that I jumped ahead of him in the number of wins, but I guess we did. So I guess there's not much to say about it, but I certainly, it's not lost on me about what we accomplished. That's for sure.
This was not a flag-to-flag win for you. There was a couple of lead swaps. You had to work for this one for a while.
Opening few laps on these skinny tires, and this is such a momentum class. It is a huge training ground, and it's also a fabulous challenge. And they go with an early green to try and let them get settled. And a beautiful launch by Skip Streets, but behind him, 3, 4, 5 cars wide. Way wide, as a matter of fact, as they set up for turn 1. Everybody here has to settle in. And one of the things about this class, there's an awful lot of experience behind the wheel generally.
There sure is. And if you notice there, Greg, there's little puffs of smoke at the top of the hill. These cars, the motors are built super loose to reduce friction so they can get every last horsepower out of them. But that oil does tend to drip out of the cars over time. And while the track is super clean right now, later on in the race, that may start to play a...
The run through the iconic S's here at Sonoma Raceway. Boy, and Streets is closing on Verison's.
Yeah, he sure is.
And Streets followed Scaler through 10 a couple of times and found where he was losing speed. Sometimes you learn from that. Oh boy, this is interesting. Here we go into turn 10.
Look at that.
Streets carrying some serious speed, Andy.
That's amazing as he's catching up, and now he's caught the draft.
Verison's has to protect, doesn't he?
He does. He's going to duck it inside here, not leave an opening.
And Streets, oh, you can see hands on the wheel, flailing, trying to cut underneath. It's a drag race to the line. He's got nowhere to go. Verison's on the outside. He tucks back in. Now he dives to the inside. An absolute drag race. And Verison's, the fist came out of the car optimistically right as Streets came up the inside. Who would have thought 5 laps ago that we would have had a margin of victory of 99 1/1000ths of a second in?
That is amazing. Oh my gosh, what a finish. Directly, a little family dynamic here. Oh,
3.
And we're going, there we go.
You knew it was going to happen. 3 abreast, heading into 14. And it's Zach Whitston who's got the nose end, but Phelps Barron stuffs it down the inside. He cannot hang on to it, though. Whitston floats a little wide, and Andrew Whitston on the outside. This has been the piece of real estate. He's been wicked quick. Is he looking to set up an exit run out of Hogpen? A wiggle by Zach Whitston. Does Hunter Phelps Barron have the opportunity now? And here comes Andrew. Who goes where? It is a drag race to the line. They are side by side by side. Look at Andrew Whitston from the outside. Pull the win. What a finish.
That is incredible. I am cheering here for these guys. This is incredible action.
Up the green, but there is no sign of concern from within that car. Gets a nice tow right up behind Jennerjohn. Jennerjohn pushing the defending champ, Andrew Whitston.
I smell a 3 wide coming.
Whitston to the left. Here comes the move to the right from Jennerjohn. Waiting for them to come around the corner. Jennerjohn to the inside. Might be 3 wide. You called it. Farnham to the inside in Canada corner. It's 3 wide somehow sneaking through. Chris Jennerjohn has the lead. Just a couple of corners to go. It's 3 wide. Oh, big contact there. And 2 cars slide off course. It's down to 3. Up front, Jennerjohn has a big gap. Andrew Thomas Abbott behind. Can he get a tow? Can he get a push? He's going to need help from Andrew Whitston.
It's maybe too big to be able to overcome, but the battle for second is definitely not over.
Chris Jennerjohn up the hill from Hartford City, Indiana. He led the field out of turn 14, and he knows he's got it won. Fist in the air, Jennerjohn wins, and it's 3 wide for second.
I think it's going to be Whitston for second. It's going to be close, though.
Here's another great finish coming down to the wire. Look at this. This is Formula V at its best.